What's up, guys? It's Brodie. Hope you all had a good Wednesday today. I have good news. I went to the knee doctor today, and basically they told me that 2 months' time I should be 100%, and that I am kind of good to go on my own timetable. So if I want to start pushing it and seeing how my knee feels, I can do that, which is awesome. And for those that don't know, I had a bucket handle torn meniscus. I had surgery on it about 4 or 5 weeks ago and slowly getting back to that. So hopefully I'll be playing Ultimate here very shortly, very soon. Alright, I want to get into it right now. Basically, I want to talk about something I saw tonight on one of the websites, I guess, I frequent weekly that posts Ultimate content, and there's two really big ones. There's RSD, which is Rexport Disc, and then there's the subreddit of Ultimate on Reddit. And I'll put the links to those in the description below if you want to check those out. But they're good places to go to kind of get a good information about a bunch of different stuff. Some people post about referees. Some people post about tournaments coming up. People post about cleats. People post about all sorts of stuff. So you can definitely check it out. And the readership on RSD is pretty good, and also on Reddit now is pretty good as well. So definitely go check those out. And that's a good source, too, if you want to, let's say, like, you have an idea, like you want to know where a good Ultimate tournament is, and you live in a certain city and you want to know, or you want to know what team you could possibly play on. Definitely check those out, and you can make a post and see if you get any hits from there, because you have people all over the place posting on that. So anyways, tonight I just got on and I checked on the Reddit, and actually the top thing right now is Brodie's thoughts on Spirit of the Game. What are your honest opinions on Spirit of the Game? All opinions welcome. And I'm just going to kind of do a little, I'm going to talk a little bit about what some people posted on that, and I'm going to actually post it back on Reddit so people can have a look at it. But there's some good things on there, and I just kind of wanted to answer some, well, not answer, I don't think people really even asked me any questions. It was more like people just said stuff, and I just kind of want to make sure everyone actually understands what my opinions were, because sometimes people can hear one thing and kind of twist it to make it sound what they want. And first off, when I was before I go into what actually people were saying, my comments were only based, when I said Spirit of the Game doesn't work, that was only based at the high elite level. Even with observers, Spirit of the Game still doesn't work, because the observers don't come into play unless you actually ask them to. So if two people make a call and one of them wants to be really spirited and say, okay, I agree with you, even though the call was wrong, that can be Spirit of the Game, but it's not working because the right call wasn't made, right? Because it was the wrong call, if that makes sense. Also, observers, there's flaws in the observer system too, because if you make the wrong call, if you say something wrong by accident, or you don't really know what happens. For example, there was a time where I called strip, and the guy contested, the observer came in, I said strip, and he goes, no strip, turnover. After the game, I talked to him. I said, I definitely felt like I got fouled, and the guy hit me, and I caught it. He goes, well, I don't know if you caught it. There definitely was contact, and there definitely was a foul, but a strip, there wasn't a strip, so I had to say no turnover. So, I mean, I had a turnover there, and this isn't like just one instant. This happens all the time, where if you make the wrong call, the observer will actually come in and overrule you. So that's one point I wanted to make, is just saying that this is at the elite level, the highest level. This isn't saying that Spirit of the Game doesn't work when two league teams come together and play. That's not what I was saying. I also don't think it works at times, too, and I'm sure there's people out there that they might not admit it, but have played in league games and left going, holy cow, that team is the biggest cheaters ever. And you know what I'm talking about. And that wouldn't happen if there's referees. You would leave saying, gosh, those refs suck. But at least you wouldn't be leaving saying that team was the biggest cheaters. All right, so king of the dip, and then the cuss word, he wrote, Brodie's entitled to his opinion, but because he's created a high profile for himself in Ultimate, he also owes it to everyone in Ultimate to be more rigorous about these issues. First off, my whole goal has always been to promote Ultimate. That's been my number one goal, and that will continue to be my number one goal, is to promote Ultimate. And obviously, I'm trying to make a living off of it, so I can continue to do it. But my number one goal is to promote Ultimate. And the one thing, though, that I'm never going to do is I'm never going to say something, do something that I don't believe in. I get offers all the time from companies, from other things, of saying, hey, promote this product, do this. Whammo, I had a conversation with Whammo. I actually flew out and talked to Whammo for a very long time about potentially working with them. I could easily have my name on a Whammo disc and be making a lot more money than I am right now, but I do not like that product. The product's not good, so I'm not going to promote something. So when you say I'm saying what I believe in, and I'm not going to change that just because I have more people listening to me or watching me. Everything I say is truly what I believe in. So that's to answer that question, I guess. He first said the first problem with his argument is that he confuses self-officiating, which is a big part of Ultimate at most levels, and a manifestation of Spirit of the Game, with Spirit of the Game itself. These are not the same thing. I agree. People consider Spirit of the Game singing at halftime. People consider Spirit of the Game playing like hand games during timeouts. People consider saying Spirit of the Game is high-fiving someone once they sky you. I agree. All those things are Spirit of the Game, but the biggest thing about Spirit of the Game is playing fairly, and at the end of the day, making the right calls. It says it right there at USA Ultimate. The biggest thing about Spirit of the Game, that's what it is playing fair, making your own calls, and making the right calls. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying all those other things are bad. I'm just saying at the end of the day, when you're at the elite level, when you're making your own calls, it's not going to work when you have something on the line. I've always understood Spirit of the Game to be about playing with principle, integrity, sportsmanship, and respect above all else. Self-efficiency relies on these, for sure, but they don't suddenly disappear when observers or refs are present. What they mean is that it's on you to be honest and play the game fairly. If you know you are out, even when the sideline called you in, you too call yourself out. I don't know what that means. If you drop the catch at the same time as there was contact, but the fault was yours, you don't call foul. Never happens. Okay, it happens sometimes, but most of the time it doesn't happen. Contrast this with professional soccer. Anything you can get away with, including faking an injury to draw a penalty, is considered legitimate. The onus is entirely on the referees, and anything they don't see is okay. Do you really want to play that sport? Would it be as much fun? Well, oh my gosh.